Hello, my name is Tyler Segarra, and today we are going to look at study number 3, where we are going to take a look and talk about stimulus equivalence. Stimulus equivalence can be used in therapy through a series of steps where a client will learn to respond to a stimulus in the same way as another stimulus. And this study is going to take a look at one case and how we were able to teach stimulus equivalence. A little bit about the client in this case. The client is a 10-year-old male who was diagnosed with ASD. He had difficulty with social interactions as well as deficits in communication, including tacting, which is going to be the goal that we are looking at specifically for this case. Talking about the intervention, we use systematic equivalence to teach tacting to this client. The client was taught to label various pictures, objects correctly, and reinforced for accurate responses. This led to the client having the ability to tact novel stimuli or untrained stimuli within the same stimulus class without that direct training. The intervention aimed to establish a functional relationship between the stimuli and the tacts, allowing for the generalization and development of derived stimulus relation. Some ways that we were able to increase the likelihood of stimulus equivalence was by carefully selecting stimulus classes for tacting. Stimulus classes were taught in the intervention to encompass a variety of stimuli. The classes covered broad ranges. We had animals, foods, we had colors, we had several other everyday items that were grouped up into categories to make these different classes. We also included pictures and objects that represented different objects and events, but the same stimulus class. The selection of the diverse stimuli was aimed to facilitate the ability for the client to accurately label various items within various stimulus classes. And the intervention aimed to enhance the client's generalization skills by incorporating a variety of stimuli, prompting a comprehensive understanding of tacting across different contexts and different categories. Through the intervention, the client developed derived stimulus relations. These relations allowed the client to tact novel stimuli within the same stimulus class without that direct training beforehand for this specific stimulus. The client demonstrated the ability to generalize their tacting skills to new and untrained stimulus. The intervention facilitated the establishment of functional relations between the stimulus and the corresponding tacts. As a result, the client was able to exhibit increased and proficient tacting of various and novel objects, even the ones that had not been seen at all before. The development of derived stimulus relations showcased the effectiveness of the stimulus equivalence-based intervention in the prompting and generalization and expanding of the tacting repertoire. The client showed significant progress throughout the intervention, and as a result, the stimulus equivalence-based intervention proved to be an effective intervention to increase tacting and, in the future, to increase communication across many different operants, including manding and SBSP operants as well. The generalization of tacting skill was observed as the client successfully applied their knowledge of novel stimuli outside the training set. The derived stimulus relations were well established, indicating that the intervention effectively facilitated and developed the stimulus equivalence. and the results showed that the client had an overall increase in language and communication skills as a result of this intervention. All right, well, thank you so much for listening to my case. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day.